Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to another wonderful Mentor Monday.
I'm Alexis.
I'm Diana, and I'm exhausted.
I am very tired. I just waited in line like 2 hours to vote because we have early voting going on now.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, make sure that you go and vote. It's really easy. Like, it doesn't take that long, and yeah, it's really important to vote.
Yes, go out there and vote. Do not take this right that we have for granted. There's so many people around the world who are fighting for this right or don't have this right. So go out there and vote. You know, it's a little vote, but it's worth it.
Yeah, and it means
part
a lot,
of your
especially
civic duty.
on like the local and like state level. Like, it's important. So yeah, make sure you get out there and get your sticker.
And it's great when your candidate wins and you're like, oh, I voted him in.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like stuff like that. Just,
Yeah,
I don't know.
definitely.
I'm super excited for voting season.
Yeah.
I used to be one of the types that I'm like, oh, my opinion doesn't matter, I'm not going to vote.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized I learned more about, you know, the world around me and about, like, people and stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, I shouldn't take this for granted.
Yeah, definitely. I just think it's, like, really important, and it takes little time. It takes very little time to get registered. It takes very little time to vote. So, yeah, just go out there and do it. And it's supplemental to, like, just doing more good in the world, I think.
And for those of you that don't live in the Bexar County, because I know that when voting comes in November, that Tuesday, you have to vote in your county. So for those of you that aren't from Bexar County, but you're here at UTSA, early voting, you don't have to vote within your county. You can vote at any poll station. You just have to prove that, you know, you are registered to vote. Yeah. And boom, you can vote. So go early vote, or vote early. Mm-hmm. Because you never know what's going to happen on that Tuesday, and you might not make it out to the polls, or it's going to be a long line.
I think you have to be I think you have to be registered in Bexar County, but you don't have to go to your certain like sector to vote.
No, I'm pretty sure because that's the exception for like college students. That's why you can
right,
vote
for
on
college
UTSA.
students, I think you're right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of information.
Basically, just go up there and vote, or like go to the voting station. If they're like, hey, you can't vote, be like, but I wanna.
Yeah. Try again next, please. Okay. And so also we have Halloween coming up.
Oh my god.
Super excited. We're gonna decorate the office all up, and we're gonna have a Halloween party. We'll talk more about that later. But it's really exciting. What are you gonna dress up as, Diana?
Okay, so I went to First Friday.
Okay.
And themed was Halloween, so we dressed up. So my boyfriend and I are a Cookie Monster, and I'm a cookie.
That's adorable.
So we're just gonna recycle the costume for the end of the month. But yeah, I'll be dressed up in like brown like chocolate chip chunks.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. Interesting.
What are you dressing up as?
So I am dressing up as the classic vampire. But I also have another costume, but that one's a surprise.
Ooh. So come to
you
the
can
potluck?
see, yeah, you'll see it on Halloween.
So are you gonna be carrying around like two costumes, or?
No, I have another thing that I'm dressing up as a vampire for, and then for Halloween I'm dressing up as something different.
Oh, okay, cute. I like it. I'm excited. Can't wait to see.
Yeah. All right, let's get started.
So today we will be talking about technology in the classroom. We live in the 21st century, so any classroom you walk into, you'll see like a laptop on someone's desk. So we're gonna be talking about, you know, how to use these laptops, use this technology in that classroom to kind of get the best out of the classroom. Because I know there are some classes where I just pull out my phone and I'm just scrolling through social media. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
So yeah, we're going to talk some tips and tricks for you to get the most out of your experience here at UTSA.
Yeah. And if you don't have a laptop or computer or access to it or anything, we'll show you how you can use resources on campus to use the same technology.
Yeah. Alrighty, so first and foremost, what devices can you use?
So you can use your laptops, your iPads or your tablets that you have, and you can use your phone. And you can also use Kindles and like e-readers.
Nice.
I use mostly my laptop and my phone.
Nice, same. I use my laptop and my phone. I know a friend of mine who has an iPad, and she uses it to take notes on it.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Yeah. I also use a Kindle from time to time. I have a lot of reading to do, and digital books are much cheaper than like physical books. So I invested in a Kindle, and it's really great because you can carry around so many books with just like this little square device.
I'm so old-fashioned. I love like flipping through books.
Like the fun
smell.
books, I have to buy
Okay.
but I also buy a lot of like Kindles. I just read a lot, so I kind of get through like books pretty fast.
And another cool thing is a lot of textbooks are actually for free online. So if you just buy the e-textbook, you can get it either a lot cheaper or for free. And you don't have to carry around, this brick of a book.
Yeah, exactly. It's much easier on your back.
Laptops, old or new are great. These are mostly for students to complete assignments. A lot of people have assignments due via Blackboard, so having a laptop helps with that. If you don't have a personal laptop but you want to take notes in class on a laptop, feel free to go to the library. They actually offer, you can rent laptops for I think 4 hours.
Yes, I think so. You can rent a lot more things at the library too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that at the very end.
And then tablets and iPads, because they're a lot easier to carry around than a laptop. And they're really great. Like, for example, my laptop does not have, like, the touch screen. So for someone who's more of a, like, I like to write my notes, a tablet kind of gives them that ease of access. Or I know you have, like, a Surface, right?
Yeah, I have a Surface, so I do have a touchscreen laptop, and it's really great for pretty much everything I like to do. I can just kind of tap away at it. I prefer to write my notes physically, but but I still can like type my notes out or like take a picture of them. There's a lot of things that kind of help work with like physical and technological. And, so it makes it really easy to kind of use both. And we'll talk about that as we talk about like the different apps that you can get for your technology.
And I'd advise, I know for like the more math-heavy classes, it's really hard to type out all those formulas.
Right.
So either if you want to go the technology route, get something that is touchscreen so you can write your notes, or just go pen and paper, and then you can always scan your notes and have them uploaded to your drive or something like that.
I will say a lot, and like a lot of people say that it is better to like write your notes out and then type them, just because the act of like writing them out helps you remember what you're writing down. Because sometimes when you're typing, you just kind of like type
You're like,
and
I
it kind
remember
of
the letter K.
Yeah, it kind of just goes like right through. So.
And then Kindle and e-readers, we talked a little bit about this, how electronic books are cheaper than hardcover books or just physical books. And again, for those of you that do have a lot of reading to do, it's probably easier, like, maybe you're taking, 5 classes, and each class has its own reading every week. You don't want to be carrying around 5 different books.
Right, you don't want to have to keep track of 5 different
Yeah.
books. Like, have to be like, where did I put this one, where did I put this? And another cool thing with the Kindle, I don't know if it's, like, for every single, kind of them, but for mine, it shows you, like, how much longer you have to read. Like, it's like, okay, you have an hour left in this chapter, or like this chapter, you're almost done with it. And it shows you like a percentage of like how much of the book that you've gone through.
See, that's what I always hated, was I would just, read, and I'm like, how far along am I? Because,
right.
Like, with physical books.
Because it just feels like you're just, but yeah, like you can go swipe through, and at the very bottom it says like, however long left in this chapter, however long left in this book, and like what percentage of the book you're finished with.
That's really cool.
It helps me stay on track, so I think that's really cool, and that's something to look at when you're trying to buy like e-readers, because they're not super expensive, but like they're still an investment, so you want to make sure that you're going to use it.
And another cool thing is that, like, for me at least, when I'm looking on Amazon and buying books, it takes 3 days or 2 to 3 days to come in. E-readers, it'll just come right to your, like,
right,
whatever.
It's automatic.
Reader. Yeah, and so you have it right then and there. So for those of you that like to procrastinate, you can definitely use that.
Yeah, and I think for all Kindles, you can also get like the Amazon Kindle app on your phone.
Oh,
so you can have it on your phone, and you can have it on your Kindle, or just on your phone.
Cool. So now that we talked a little bit about devices, let's talk about like apps and software that you can use on those devices.
Okay. So the very first one, and I'm pretty sure everyone at UTSA knows about it already, is Blackboard.
Oh my gosh, what?
What is Blackboard? So pretty much every professor uses it, and but a lot of people don't know that we have an app for Blackboard.
Yeah.
Now, do you use the Blackboard app?
I actually do, just because, so it is this little app right here. gonna pull it up. I'm not on my phone. I'm pulling up the Blackboard.
She's looking at social media right now, but
It's this little app right here that was it gonna focus? It's not. It's like basically a blue background with a little pencil on it.
pretty much like the logo that you see when you're logging into Blackboard, I think.
Yeah, and so this is gonna be the trying to focus it. Here you go. This is gonna be the screen. You put your school that you're going to, and then you just log in. It's gonna take you to like a regular login, and then it's going to pull up all of your courses. It's going to have them color-coded, and you can even set up notifications so that when you have homeworks due, it'll be like, hey, by the way, you have a homework due tonight. Or, you know, when a professor uploads something, hey, by the way, your professor uploaded something.
Mm-hmm.
So I use the app. I love the app.
Yeah. I don't use the app that often, but I do use, like, Blackboard. Like, I check Blackboard every single day, so I probably should have downloaded that app right before I graduated.
For those of you that have professors that like to post their homeworks online and have the due dates online and everything, the calendar section of Blackboard is my saving grace, because I can look at it and I'm like, oh gosh, I have something due this Friday, oh no. Rather than going through each class, going through their section and seeing, is there a homework due? Oh no, there isn't. Is there a homework due? Oh no, there isn't. The easiest way is just go to the calendar.
Very helpful.
But Blackboard is like your one stop for everything you need for your courses. A lot of professors post notes there. Some professors don't. It's also a great way for you to email your professor, because you know, like, your professor may have over 100 different types of students. So when you email through Blackboard, it says this student is from this class at this time with this section number. So he knows exactly who you are, type of thing.
Yeah, and you can also get connected to your classmates in that, and like if you need to schedule like study groups, or if you want to ask like, hey, what happened in class? I missed it, or something like that. Like you can message kind of through Blackboard. Just make sure that you're looking at it, and you know, when you have to upload things onto Blackboard, I know pretty much I upload all my stuff exclusively to Blackboard. I don't turn in anything like physical except for tests. So making sure that you have the right stuff to upload, because I think for some documents like Blackboard doesn't take it, like Apple document or something like that. Like you have to turn it into a Word document. So
safest bet is just turn in a PDF. Blackboard always accepts PDF, so whatever you have, if you don't know how, take the Word document. When you click Save As, there's a little drop down and Save As a PDF, and it'll just convert it automatically for you. And so no matter what the professor decides to open it on, he'll be able to see it, or she will be able to see it. Another thing is, though, be very careful for those of you turning in English assignments or paper, like typing assignments. Blackboard does have a plagiarism checker. None of y'all should have any problem with that.
Yeah, don't plagiarize.
But in the event that you thought maybe you could get away with it, you really can't. It keeps database of all past assignments too. So if you're plagiarizing from a semester, or a kid who took it like 2 semesters ago, Blackboard has it.
Yeah, your professor might not remember, but Blackboard will remember. So keep that in mind.
Blackboard remembers.
Blackboard remembers.
So yeah, definitely do not plagiarize, or Blackboard will catch you.
Yeah, be careful with that.
Alrighty, so moving on. Now that we talked about where you're going to be turning in your assignments, a great place to work on those assignments is either OneDrive or
Google Drive. Google Drive is my saving grace, because my laptop does not have a lot of space, so I don't like to keep all my different assignments from past semesters, because I have folders for every single semester, and I have folders for every single class, so it gets really full. So with Google Drive, I can open it up anywhere, and I can have all my assignments, all my papers. If I need to look back on something, especially if I'm writing papers, or if I'm kind of trying to build off of something I've already done, I can go back and look through my Google Drive and say oh hey, I already wrote this. I can just kind of rewrite it, fix it up, and things like that. And the great thing about it is you can open it up on your laptop, on your phone. I have the Google Drive app. I pretty much am Google's spokesman at this point.
You should
like,
have a shirt.
They should hire me, you know.
No, Google is really great, especially in a college setting, because let's say someone's like, oh my gosh, I forgot that we have a test. Do you have the study guide? Oh yeah, let me just forward it to you.
You're right.
Google's really great.
Google's amazing at sharing
Oh my
things.
gosh, yes.
Yes.
I have, for these past 2 semesters, I'm a senior design 1 and 2, and we work with a team of, well, my team is 3 people, and we have assignments due every other week and stuff like that, and so for working on those assignments, basically we just made a folder, shared it throughout, like, all 3 of us, and anyone can go in and work on the assignment. Which is amazing, because before it was like, hey guys, let's meet up at 3 o'clock, let's sit down and actually work on it. It's like,
yeah, and that's one thing about college is just like you're always in different places. If someone's like not on campus or maybe they have class, like you can just use a Google Doc. And Google also has where you can put comments on the paper as well.
I love that.
There's even a chat, I think, in like Google Docs where you can just like talk about like, hey, I'm thinking of putting this here. Maybe we should add this here. And the sharing it is also really great. Yeah. And because I think you can share it to people, you can either add their like email address to it, or you can add their or you can send them a link, and they can either view it, edit it, or just like add comments to it.
But I'm pretty sure that if you want them to be able to edit it, it has to be a Gmail email, right?
I
tried to send it to a Yahoo one time, and they're like, I can only see it.
Yeah. Some of it, it's safe. It's a safe bet that you can pretty much just edit it with a Gmail, because like you can also see. Which another great thing about Google Drive is like you can click on like shared with me, and you can see everything that someone sent you. So like if you're like, I sent you this document like a month ago, you can go to shared with me and be like, okay, here it is. Instead of trying to like find that email where they sent it, or like that text message where they kind of sent you the link.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you have to have a Gmail, which like I think everyone should have a Gmail, or like maybe on the side or something, like just to use Google Drive, because it's really great.
And I think you can even see like history of what people have edited and what they've done. So that's a really cool thing too. And that's why you need the Gmails, because you have to have an account with Google, so it can be like, Alexis edited this portion at this time type of thing.
Yeah, and they really easily change to like Word documents. Like as soon as you download a Google document onto your computer, it turns into a Word document, and that's what I send in. But not just I know we're talking about docs a lot, but like you can also use Google Sheets, Google Slides.
So Google Sheets is for Excel, if you have anything you need to do in Excel.
And Google Slides is like PowerPoint. So if you have a presentation that you need to work on, you can all work on it on there, which is great, and then you can just like upload it or download it, and it becomes PowerPoint. Or you can present it on Google Slides, which is what I like to do.
They also do Google Forms, so if like let's say your teammates can't find the best time that works for everyone, you can just make a little Google form. It's like a survey, everyone answers it, and boom, you have your answer.
Yeah, it's really easy. There's just so much you can do with Google. I would definitely recommend just finding it and just playing with it for a while, and just seeing what you like and what you don't like. But Diana, tell us a little bit about OneDrive.
Before I do that real quick, I would suggest and recommend that if you are using Google Docs, when you download it, I know one of my professors is really strict on margins and different editings. Just run through it real quick just to make sure, because the Google Doc translates a little different to the Word doc. So just make sure that all of your fonts are the same, your sizes are the same. Just do a little quick run through, and it's not good. It doesn't take that long.
Yeah, I pretty much leave everything, everything's always the same. It's always 12 point Times New Roman.
No, because
no matter what I write.
I had a professor who was like, no, all of your, you can't have, and sometimes it would, a subheading would come out at the bottom of the page in the actual, paragraph. Yeah. And so he would dock points for that. And so I'd have to go and, and I'd edit it.
Always double check.
So just make sure. As for OneDrive, something that a lot of UTSA students don't know is that we have free access to a terabyte in OneDrive. So if you don't have a Google account and you still want to use something similar to it, I would highly recommend OneDrive. It's really wonderful. You can share, just like in OneDrive, you can share it. They do have to have access to a OneDrive, but it can be shared with pretty much any email. Again, you can collaborate on Word documents. You can collaborate on PowerPoint, Excel. You can basically upload any format of a file, and people can see it in that folder, or you can see it yourself. You have the same feature where you can see shared with me. So if someone shared something with you, you can go there and you can find it for like ages to come. But the only downside is that this does go away once you graduate. So
make
once
sure
you graduate,
if you do have stuff saved on there,
like
that you back it up and like put on a flash drive or something.
Yep. But it's a great place if you don't like, because I know free Google gives you about like 15 gigabytes.
Yeah.
So
which
if you,
I mean, it's a good amount of space. It depends on what you're doing, I guess.
I bought the terabyte, which is like $2 a month.
Yeah.
And like right now I'm at like 17 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And I just have a lot in there. So if you're like reaching your limit on Google Drive, or you don't have a Google account, OneDrive is absolutely free and it gives you a terabyte.
Yeah, and I believe you just use your UTSA ID.
Yeah, you can go on my UTSA, and it'll have it under there. Just click on it, and it's going to be your ABC123 and the same password that you use for Blackboard and ASAP. Also through there, you can download Office.
Yes.
So that's Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Publisher, all of those things, OneNote. They all get downloaded. You have 5 free downloads, so on 5 different devices.
Yeah, it's completely free, and which is awesome.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to like.
It's expensive to buy Office.
It is really expensive. So make sure that you're like using everything that you can. And I think you can also download Skype.
Yeah, Skype comes in the package for it has all the lists on there when you go in there. If you can't figure it out in the business building, their Student Connect, they'll gladly help you out.
Yeah.
So next thing, earlier we were talking about connecting with your peers. A great way that I know everyone knows about is GroupMe.
GroupMe. We love GroupMe. So GroupMe is essentially just a group messaging app. You can also do private messaging as well, but I think its main thing is like group messaging. I mean, it says GroupMe. Group, So,
you may have gotten an email from someone who said, "Hey, I'm creating a GroupMe for this class. Here's the link." And then you go in there and it's like, "Oh my gosh, let's go watch the new Spider-Man movie." It's like, this is not what I wanted. But it's great because come test time, I know I'm in several GroupMes with my classmates, and around test time, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, can you answer number 4 on this on the study guide?" And I'm struggling with number 4, and boom, someone's answered it.
Yeah, it's great for classes, but also for like organization groups. Pretty much all my organizations have GroupMe, where you can put like, "Hey, this is our next meeting. This is where we're gonna be," or if anything changes, like at the last minute, you can, kind of keep track of what's going on, like, on GroupMe. It's pretty much to help you, like, keep track and stuff. It does sometimes get, like, a little crowded. Yeah, a little crowded. People are, like,
you can mute, something I learned, like, after the first semester I had done GroupMe, but you can mute a channel, so if they're being a little too, rowdy.
Yeah, you can just mute, like, that one. Or you could just hide it, I think.
That's even better. And so I remember before we started the live stream, you were talking about one of your orgs using Discord.
Yeah, so one of my orgs, it's a really big organization, so we kind of have, like, if we were all in one GroupMe, it would be disastrous, pretty much. But we have a Discord, and Discord is kind of the same sort of concept. It's a messaging channel, and you can also private message, but a lot of the times you're in like groups, depending on like your organization. So say you're in one organization, but your organization has a lot of different like tasks. Like you could put a channel for volunteering, or a channel for like meeting times, or a channel for this, that, and the other. And you can click on the channel and you can kind of go through all the different messages. It's really easy, just type out your message and go on. And it's really helpful because, sometimes you just want to talk about like random things, but you don't want it to get lost. You don't want the important things to get lost in that like talk of all this other stuff. So you can go on a different channel and just talk to the same people that you're just talking to on this other channel, but keep it kind of more organized. I think that's what I really like about Discord, is that it's so organized. and you can use it pretty much anytime. They have, I have the app on my laptop and on my phone, and it's just super helpful.
And see, the really cool thing, I guess, difference between GroupMe and Discord is that for like one of my orgs, we have, you know, the main one for everyone in the org, then we have one for the volunteers, then we have one for the officers. And so that's like 3 different GroupMes. While in Discord, it's like one big channel where everyone is, there's like an open channel where everyone can communicate, and then there's sub-channels where, you know, officers can communicate, where volunteers, like Alexis said. And I think that's really great because if there's information that, you know, the officers need to talk about, I don't have to like exit the group chat and then go into a different group chat and like keep track of all of that. I can just be in the same like area.
And the great thing about that, like, you might think like, oh, the officers are talking about, but like if you want a channel to be not really restricted, but like not private? Private, so not everyone could see it. So maybe a channel where just the officers can get in and, you know, or you have to be invited into the channel, can probably be really helpful for that, just to keep things like, you know, all that stuff.
And it's not because we talk all this like stuff about the members. We just need to have all sorts of like forms and stuff to fill out, and we don't want to bother
it's really
members.
Like there's a lot of background stuff that goes into it, so you want to just make sure that that's taken care of.
And I think you can upload like documents on both GroupMe and
Discord.
Discord.
Personally, I found that it's easier to do it on Discord. Pictures for GroupMe is pretty easy, but like for documents and Google Docs and things, you can share it way easier on Discord. So I would definitely look into getting Discord and just checking it out, playing with it, because you can use it for like things like organizations, you know, study groups or something like that, but you can also use it just for fun.
Another one that I would suggest that isn't very highly used around UTSA is Slack. It's pretty much exactly like Discord, only a more professional one, since Discord was kind of created for like gamers.
Yeah, it's like a gamer thing. But you know, you don't have to be. They don't ask like, are you a gamer?
It does.
When you like sign up.
No, but Slack is really cool because it's the same concept where you have one big channel with everybody in it, and then sub channels for the various different things. So I'm a College of Engineering ambassador, and we have one. And so a sub program within this big program is Toyota ambassadors. So whenever we because we go out to schools and stuff, whenever we have that type of information, we don't want to bother everybody with that information, so we put it in our separate little channel. Then they have like a meme channel where it's that way, you know, if you're not interested in memes, you can just unsubscribe from that specific channel, but you still get all the important information, so your phone isn't like blowing up.
Yeah, that's the really great thing about Discord, is that you can easily like kind of mute certain things.
Yeah.
So, because nobody likes all these like notifications out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, but those are a little bit of like the communication aspect of it. Now, an important part of college is taking notes.
Yes, extremely.
So, aside from the traditional pen and paper, which I kind of like,
I think we both like pen and paper kind of things, but you know, we're trying to.
If you're not pen and paper and you're like, we live in the 21st century, we should use technology.
Right.
Some really great apps that we've kind of surveyed the office and we've found people use are Good Notes, Evernote, OneNote, a lot of notes, Notability, Note Plus. I'm pretty sure you can go into like the app store and just write notes.
Yeah, just write notes and you'll have like every single app we just talked about.
So a little bit of talk about the differences. I know you use Evernote.
Yes, so I use Evernote. Evernote is a really great, it's just great for taking notes for me personally, because it has such a good compartmentalization system. Like, it has notebooks. So basically, say I have a notebook for one of my classes, then I can just click on that and it has all my notes for that class. And the notes are great too, because you can take pictures of your notes and put it in there. You can do a handwriting kind of thing in Evernote. You can type it up, or you can save a web page or something. There's a lot of different ways that you can add notes. And I think the basic package for Evernote is free, which is a certain amount of memory and then a certain amount of uses. I know if you pay more, you get templates and you get more memory and stuff, but I use the basic one, so I'm not paying for a lot of notes. But also, like, as a writer, it helps because I can sort of keep my notebooks in. You have notebooks, then you have notebook stacks. So basically, say I have like my writing in one notebook stack. I have, okay, this story has this notebook, and that has all my notes for the story. So it's just a really great way to keep like everything organized, because my mind is like going like 1,000 different places at one time. So it's good to like be able to like look for one thing. And it also has a pretty good like searching tool. Yes.
Nice.
Thank you. And so for Evernote, it also has a phone app and a computer app and a tablet app. When I had my tablet, I used to use it on there too. And it's just great. Very easy to use.
If you do you log in for?
Yeah, you log in.
So you can use like you write something on your tablet and then you can transfer and see it on your laptop? All right, cool.
Yeah. So, which is really nice, because sometimes I just have my phone and then I can just like type like a quick note, like when I'm thinking of something like, oh, hey, this would be perfect for this thing that I'm writing, so I'd like type it in, and then later when I'm actually writing, I can go back and look at it on my computer.
That's neat.
Yeah.
So my favorite app is OneNote. It comes free with your download of Office. It's part of the Microsoft Office suite thing. And it does the same thing. I can pull it up on my phone. I can pull it up on my laptop. I have it hooked up to my like desktop at home, so I can pull up all my notes. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool because you can do the same. You don't have like notebook stacks or notebooks, but you have like tabs on the top of all of your different like the way I use it is different subjects. And on the side you have different pages for like I use them per notes I took for, Monday, notes I took Wednesday, notes I took Friday, notes I'm taking next Monday, next Wednesday, next Friday. And I can just go through and that's kind of my system. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool. You can do like typing, you can do pencil if you have like touchscreen or something. Mm-hmm. And a really cool feature is you can import PowerPoints. So if your professor likes to upload PowerPoints to Blackboard, mm-hmm. you can import those PowerPoints and write on the side as they're going through the PowerPoints, like important notes that they make.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's cool. For OneNote, is it like easy to share it with other people as well?
Yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of sucky part is that if you don't have, or you don't use, or you don't have OneNote, it kind of transfers over to like a PDF really weirdly. Mm-hmm. So unless you keep within like the lines of, because you can go like infinitely this way and infinitely down that way. Mm-hmm. But if you go infinitely like, to the right, when you like send it to somebody, it's gonna like move it to the next page. So it looks really weird. Yeah. So you can share it in OneNote, it's fine. Mm-hmm. But if you share it outside of OneNote, it kind of gets wonky.
Yeah, I think the same is for Evernote. You can share it, but I think the person that you're sharing it with has to have Evernote as well. And which is it's a pretty cool like it's got a pretty cool like organization thing, and like when you're taking notes, multiple people are taking notes. But yeah, that's the one thing, like everyone has to have Evernote, which is fine.
So these are the ones that we're familiar with. Other ones that we heard about are GoodNotes, which is the ability to create multiple notebooks, kind of like Evernote, and allows individual papers or pages within those notebooks, ability to insert charts and images, and it supports Apple Pencil for those of you that like, sensitivity writing, so you like thicker versus thinner, stuff like that. Which is really cool. I think the Apple Pencil is really cool, but anyways. Makes notes easy to find by indexing them. Notability, again, similar to Evernote and GoodNote in a lot of ways, but it also allows you the ability to import web pages where you can create notes on the web page itself. And then Note Plus, again, similar to everything we've already talked about. But it also has an in-app browser, so you can like search for stuff, I guess the same way you can do in Evernote. The ability to convert, this is cool, the ability to convert handwritten notes into text. Mm-hmm. So that you can maybe like turn it in if your professor's like, I like stuff only typed.
Right.
And then you can audio record lectures or group discussions. And it'll save it with the what you were writing, which I think OneNote does the same thing.
I think you can do that in Evernote too. Like you can like record your first. I've never tried it because like I don't know. I don't. I don't think I've ever tried like anything like recording it. I don't trust my own voice.
So I know I can't listen to my own recordings.
Yeah, so I'm just like,
oh, that's how the world hears me. So we just got a question in. If I'm starting out in college, would you recommend checking out laptops or buying your own?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's really up to you. My first semester here, or first year here, I didn't have like a personal laptop I brought to school. I just used the desktops and laptops, like checking them out. It is kind of tedious to constantly go back and like recheck it out after 4 hours. But if you're financially not in the place to be able to afford a laptop, or maybe you just don't feel like going out and spending that money, it is a viable option. I did it my first year, an entire year. I did great with it, so it was fine.
Yeah, I think you can definitely do that. But for me personally, I came in, I already had a laptop, and you know, when I kind of get like, try and keep mine like relatively new, just so they are kind of like up to speed. But I would say that buying your own is it's a good investment. Like, I don't think there are drawbacks to buying it other than like they're expensive, because they are expensive. If you want a good one, you're gonna spend a lot of money on it. Just like truthfully.
And I'll say like it's like night and day from when I bought one, like the semester when I bought one versus the previous semester. Just because let's say you're like sitting in the library and you're typing something out, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh gosh, I'm late to class. You can just close your laptop and run to class, and then open it up and there it is. You don't have to like, save it, upload it to something, and then return your laptop and then go to class or something like that.
Right, yeah. I just think for ease of time, and just like for me, like I kind of do my stuff like everywhere that I can. So I'll be in the office for like an hour, I'll go to the library, I'll go back home, I'll kind of go back and forth. So I think having my own laptop on me is great. But also like sometimes you don't want to carry that around because they're really heavy. Some of them are really heavy.
Mine is.
Mine's pretty thin, but still like for ease of space and stuff like that. But I would recommend, like, if you're in the financial like space where you can like afford one, definitely buy one. And remember that the technology store here, like I think it's kind of like a discount or something like that.
That's something.
And I mean, you can also get student discounts like at Best Buy and things like that. So keep that in mind.
And I think like the best time to buy a laptop would be right now, because all of the like school like buzz kind of died down, and so they're doing a lot of sales right now. And then Black Friday, Cyber Monday are coming up. Woo! Yeah.
So I would just keep your eye out for like really good sales and stuff, because if you can find a good one very cheap, like, and using the apps that we've talked about, like Google Drive, like I said, my computer doesn't have that much space, but I use Google Drive, so everything's there. So I don't have to worry about, like, do I have enough, like, gigs on my laptop? Like, I don't have to worry about that.
And then on top of that, if you are just starting out, like the question states, it definitely is a huge great investment. Because, like, yeah, if you're, like, in your last semester, like, I'm thinking about replacing my laptop, but realistically, am I going to use it after this semester? Probably not. So, if you are just starting out, remember, you have 4 years ahead of you. So, this is going to be a laptop that's probably going to help you out for the next 4 years.
Yeah, and think about what you're going to be doing after you graduate. Because for me, personally, I'm going to use my laptop like crazy, because I'm going to be writing night and day. So just think about your situation. Like, everyone's different, so just keep that in mind.
And when you do start looking for laptops, if you decide to go down the route of buying your own, think about what is going to be most useful to you. I think that if I had that kind of mindset and the financial capability several years ago, I would have bought like a Surface where I could write, because I love writing my notes, but I also hate carrying around spirals.
Yeah.
Having that touchscreen definitely would have helped. So just keep all of that stuff in mind and see what works best for you.
Yeah. And don't just buy the first thing that you see.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, no.
Make sure you shop around. I would recommend shopping around for at least 2 weeks and just checking out, like, there are plenty of sites, really great sites actually, that review like computers, and like that's the reason why I bought mine, because I read like all these different reviews for computers, and like I finally found the one that works perfectly for me and that was kind of within my budget.
Yep. So then, moving on.
On to the next thing.
Some professors use different methods to make sure that students are in class by taking attendance, whether that's the old pen and paper quiz or top hat and eye clickers. So top hat, I know one of my professors, the professor I TA for, he uses top hat, and it's basically just taking attendance. I would tell you, or note that in top hat they can see your location. So if you have a
if
you have a really good friend who just sends you the code and you're at home in your pajamas and you're just checking in from top hat, your professor can see that. Like, he's left so many, he'll show me, he's like, oh, my classroom's not at 410 with I-10.
I did not know that they could check. I mean, we really don't use top hat or anything in my classes now. She usually just gives us an attendance sheet, or we have to take a quiz or something. So that's interesting information. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so just be careful. It's just an app thing. You do have to pay for it, but again, they use it for attendance, so you don't really have an option not to pay for it.
Yeah, that's one kind of drawback of using top hat. Because I remember, I think I did use it in my freshman year, because it's the really big classes.
Yeah.
Is usually what they use it for. So in my basic classes, but I think they also have a free trial with 2 weeks, but you will have to pay for it eventually. But I think you pay by semester.
I think that you can do either 1 semester or a full year. So just see what's up for you.
Yeah. And do you know how much it is?
No, I don't know exactly how much, but and then the second one is eye clickers. Those don't use a location, but again, you have to be within their radius of the receiver. So you can't do the whole I'm on my way, let me just, that's not, please, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And then a lot of professors have gotten really good at, noticing when someone has 2 eye clickers, so don't give it to your friend.
Yeah.
Because then your friend and you get in trouble, and you don't want to do that. You can buy them on Amazon, here at the bookstore. You can rent them from the bookstore, or even talk to some of your classmates who are upperclassmen who maybe aren't using it, because I don't use them anymore in my upper level classes.
Right.
But I still have my eye clicker, and so I can sell it to someone for way cheaper than anywhere else.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out for people who are selling things, and that really goes for everything. If
books.
Books especially. I have some books that I bought my freshman year, because I didn't know any better. And so, you always look out for people who might be selling theirs, and you might be able to get one kind of cheap.
Yep. So that's pretty much it with the attendance aspect of it. Office of Information Technology here at UTSA offers free Wi-Fi to students. You do have to log in using your ABC123 and the password from your ASAP and Blackboard. But it's free. It works most of the time.
They also have, I think there's also a guest Wi-Fi that usually if one isn't working, the other one is. So you can always try those. And then the on campus, I know in Laurel and Chap and Alvarez, they have a different kind of Wi-Fi for the housing areas. And I mean, basically, it's just a simple login kind of username and password for that as well. So it's not the same as the Wi-Fi that we have on campus, but it works. It works pretty well. So
that's neat.
Yeah.
You also are allowed $12 of credit hours if you're a full-time student. I think it's $9 for part-time students.
So and that's for your print spot.
Oh yeah.
So you might have noticed that there are a lot of printers on campus. In certain, I think we have one literally right outside the door.
Yeah.
So, all you have to do for that is upload your things that you want to print onto your PrintSpot account or onto the PrintSpot driver. I think you can download it onto your computer. Upload those papers, swipe your ID at one of the printers, and click it, and you can print out your things, print out your work. I think it's around 10 cents like
6 cents.
Yeah, 6 cents.
So if you're printing something like, just a regular old like black and white paper, I would recommend that when you're uploading it to select black and white, because in the event that you can only find a color printer, if your settings are black and white, it'll charge you the black and white rate, which is 6 cents a page. And then I think it's even like 6 cents for the front page and like 3 cents if you do back and front.
Yeah.
And then also like, but color printing is a little bit more expensive. So that's just like my 2 cents if you want to save in the event, because I know there's some places that have only colored printers.
Yeah. Yeah, just be aware of that. And I mean, I've never used all $12 in like a semester. So really?
Oh my god, it was when I was taking Physics 1, and it was like 10-page packets each lab.
Oh.
So dumb.
Wow. Yeah, I've never done that.
But like, it's $12 is a lot. So
it usually lasts all semester.
Oh yeah.
And if it doesn't, you might have friends that'll be like, oh hey, you can just put it on. Let me print it out for you.
But even if you do run out, you can reload it. The downside to that, I would reload like $1 at a time, is because you can't pull money from there. So whatever you put on there, you have to use.
Yeah, it's there forever. So yeah, just put like $1 in there, and that will last you a pretty long time too.
That semester when I was taking the lab, I think I only needed to put in $2.
Yeah.
So $12 is plenty. And remember, it is $9 for I think it's $9 for part-time students. So if you're not taking 12 credit hours, you get a little bit less. And then there's free software like Office Professional Plus, Skype for Business, and OneDrive for Business. All of that stuff is offered to us for free. Again, I had mentioned them earlier, but if you have any problems with your laptop, with any form of technology, hooking up to the Wi-Fi, downloading Office, all of that stuff, there's a wonderful service that is a collaboration with the Office of Information Technology, which is located in the business building on the second floor in their computer lab. It's called Student Connect. They help students with basically anything that they have problems with technology-wise. So go there. They're wonderful people, and they're very knowledgeable.
Yeah. Can you also do it online? I feel like I've done it online before.
I know that they have different social medias that you can like ask questions on there.
But there might be like a chat or something, like like on the JPL website you can like chat.
Does,
but like I think you can also do it for that as well. Maybe.
I'm not 100%.
Something, but you can just go or call them and you can find out.
They can definitely. And then like I've had viruses on my computer and they've helped me get rid of those. So they're definitely very helpful,
and they're just here to help you.
Yeah. The only downside is if you do have to do like a firmware update or I don't know, something like that, you do have to be with your computer at all times, so you can't just come in and say, okay, I'm going to leave it with you for like an hour and a half and go get lunch. You do have to be there with the laptop, and that's just liability type.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. So that's a great, again, in the business building. The JPL technology that you can borrow. Do you want to list off some stuff?
Let's list off some
All
stuff.
you need is your ID or your 3x3, and you can get access to all of these wonderful things.
What can we get? Okay, so you can get laptops, headphones, webcams, memory card readers, cable adapters, phone chargers, calculators, compasses, rulers, protractors, whiteboard supplies, eye clickers, media players, and projectors, and so much more.
Like whiteboards, you can even check out some textbooks. Like professors will go to the library and say, hey, this is my textbook, please acquire it, please make it available. For like the first year here, I didn't buy any textbooks. I just rented them or like borrowed them from the library.
Yeah, I think textbooks are on reserve, so you can have them for like 2 hours, and you can either take pictures of the pages or if you want to just go through it really fast. But yeah.
They have scanners in there, so you can even scan the textbook. Granted, on the front it says do not scan the entire textbook, so skip the table of contents.
Scan the rest. You don't need the pictures, just the and I've used. You can also get video cameras from there as well. I've used tripods from there before, and they have the cameras.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just be careful if you're, videotaping something. Make sure you either bring your own memory card or you put your memory card onto, if you're using one of their memory cards, put it onto your computer or, your flash drive or whatever, because once they get it back, they're going to swipe it, and then, that's all gone. So, be careful with that.
If you're in one of the rooms and you want to use, like, the one of the study rooms and you want to use a TV, they have HDMI cables. If you're getting ready to go present in a class and you're like, oh no, I forgot an HDMI cable, and they don't have it in the classroom, the library does.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Always
that
be prepared.
the library, the AET library, and the computer lab in the business building all have desktops that you can work on.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to do anything, like if you don't want to rent out a laptop or something, or you're going to be there for more than like 6 hours or something.
Yeah.
You can, or even 1 hour. You can do that.
I think all of these things have different times that you need to bring them back. So just be aware of that. They're all on the website. But once you rent them out, they will tell you as well. And they're gonna.
Oh yeah.
And if they have your ID, or they don't have your ID, but they have like your information, they can like email you and be like, hey, you need to bring this back. Or
and they're not going to be like, oh, it's been an hour and 1 minute, Alexis. Here's a fine.
Yeah, it's not going to be like that. But just, be respectful, because other people need to use these things as well. So you don't want to like lose it or something like that. And some of these things are expensive.
Yeah.
So.
And one of the best like life-saving things I've ever learned was that if you forget your calculator for a test, the library has some. Everything from like, a regular like 4 input, like, plus minus division, a multiplication calculator, to a graphing calculator. They have all of them. Scientific, everything. I remember I forgot mine for a calculus exam, and I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? And it was like in 5 minutes this exam was starting, so I just ran to the library, grabbed it, and saved my life.
JPL saves lives. Don't forget about that.
Blackboard remembers.
Blackboard
saves lives. Well, just some quick announcements for the coming week.
Wednesday, we have a game day here at the First Gen and Transfer Student Center. So from 2 to 4, we will be playing games. We'll have food and like treats and stuff. So just make sure you come out, get some food, and play some games with us. I don't know exactly what games we're gonna have, but I know we will have like a few to choose from, and they're not gonna be like, there's no Monopoly or anything, unfortunately, because we don't want to take like 6 hours. But it's gonna be fun. And next week, we're having our Halloween party.
Hey!
Also on a Wednesday, on that Halloween, the 31st, from 4 to 7. Also in the First Gen Transfer Student Center. It's going to be really fun. We're doing a costume contest, so make sure you dress up. So start your costume now. We're going to have decorating, cookies, and we're going to have like a lot of different games. And
a costume contest.
Yes.
I just want to see people's costumes.
I know. I want to see everybody dressed up. We're going to have a photo booth, probably like right here, so it's gonna be like super spooky, and so just
or come out and take a picture in the MentorMonday couch.
Yeah, like if you wanna dress up like us, you can.
Yes,
you're totally welcome.
I
to
usually
do that.
wear a t-shirt.
Yeah, you can find this at the bookstore. So
this is in the engineering building. There's an org that sells it.
Yeah, so jeans,
we're both matching.
We're
Converse.
like matching today.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Just come out. We want everyone to have a good time and to be able to enjoy Halloween, even though it's on a Wednesday. It's gonna be really fun.
And be safe, though.
Yes,
Please
safe for
Halloween.
Just be careful out there. It gets a little, but that Halloween and the weekend before, just be safe and be mindful of the things going on around you.
Going out, make sure to take a spooky buddy with you.
Yeah, do not go out alone. Like, bring at least one friend.
Yep.
Yeah. And, be somebody else's friend. Don't let anybody else go out alone either.
Yeah.
Just
the best thing that I've ever seen was this girl came to a party by herself. She got really, not the best type of situation arose, and this guy was hitting on her, and 3 guys stepped up, didn't even know her, and they were like, hey man, back off. They took her home, everything was great. It could have turned really bad, but thanks to these three strangers.
Make sure you speak up, because there's,
worst case scenario, you get a little embarrassed and someone's like, oh, it's just my boyfriend, like, whatever. But best case scenario, you save someone's life.
Definitely,
So just please
care for one another.
Just please be very careful out there. Have a good time, and remember to have a safe, good time.
Do we have any more announcements?
Not that I know of. We have a mentor messages coming up next Monday. Don't know the topic yet.
We're not sure, but it'll be cool. Make sure you tune in.
As always, we have all of our social media down in the description below. If you were here at the last Mentor Monday, I uploaded all of their social media in the description of that video. So if you were thinking, oh, I want to get in touch with the advisors, I have that in that video.
And if you have any questions about the apps that we talked about today, especially like Evernote and Google Drive, for me personally, I'm in the office. You can ask questions if you want to know some more about it, and you can put down in the comments like what kind of apps do you use. Maybe we found something that nobody knows about that's like super cool, and we need to all get on this wave. So let us know.
Definitely put in the comments, or if you have any more questions, we always look through our comments a week later and stuff, and we'll answer them. Or message us on any of our social media. Become a mentee. Go to our website and become a mentee. You'll get one of our wonderful peer mentors. Aside from that, that's all I have.
I think that's it. I'm Alexis.
I'm Diana. Have a happy Halloween. And see you next Monday.
We'll see you next Monday.